up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with the honor review of Kandi and the Gang. So we are looking at the aunties. They're going on dating websites to find a special someone. And they're looking at their profiles, taking pictures. Miss Aunt Bertha is not really feeling it. She's not. She said, well, if you find someone that could be a double date, then I'm all for it. Chandrika and June, they have a sit down with Dom just to get an understanding as to why Dom left them hanging. Didn't come out to check them, didn't see if they were okay, just left them hanging, left them out to dry, right? So he jumps right in and said, listen, we didn't come to be petty. We wanted to say hi, congratulations, and make sure our relationship was secure, but it didn't work out that way. So what was your reason why you never came outside and spoke to us? What happened inside? She said it was a lot that happened and she couldn't get away because her bosses were there. So she did not want to leave for something that was a work event or wasn't a work event. I said, Dom, that's a stupid ass reason. You didn't want to leave because Brandon didn't want to leave. You wanted to stay with Brandon. And I feel like Chandrika would have understood. She would stay with her man. She's all about her man. So all you have to do was just take a few minutes out your day, a few minutes out of your time, to walk out or send a text message to say, girl, I'm so sorry you couldn't get in. But are you sure you're okay? You want me to leave with you? No. You guys are good. We already got something else to do later. That's all you have to do, Dom, to be honest. And I wasn't even mad that June wanted to correct it and feel like you weren't being a friend to her. And even though Dom felt some type of way of getting called out, how she wasn't a good friend to her, and she feels like, if we arrive together, June feels like if we arrive together, then we should have left together. Where's the club logic? If my friend's not getting in, I'm not getting in, But Shauna feels like June is very protective of her, and when she's upset, he can feel it. But sometimes Chandrika acts like nothing really bothers her, and she just lets June speak up for her. But then Dom goes in the confessional, said that he's wrong for saying it. It was a real situation. And then she said, Chandrika, get your man before it becomes an issue. Tell him to shut the fuck up. Or what? What you gonna do? My man is bold enough to tell you weren't a good friend to me that night. I'm supposed to say, no, baby, can't do that. Because he wasn't disrespectful. He asked you what you did and what you didn't do. So, okay. So then, where were they at? Oh, yeah, talking about how, where am I at? Why ain't I right? Oh, yeah, he wants to check Torrin, too, because Torrin didn't handle it as well. And he just wants to make sure that your friends care about you, your friends are sticking up for you, and that's all he wants. So checking him on what, he wants for her to have. If he wants to have friends that's going to ride for her, if not, then you go ahead and kick her out. They're not your friend. And he definitely feels like her friends ain't worth a damn. But that's her man. She's going to stick beside him. Then we see Chandrika, Brian, and Rashad at the hostess stand talking about having a wig funeral for this old, dried, and fried wig that he's done with. Patrick and Todd are in the parking lot talking about the housewarming. He didn't even think it would be that much people. And pretty much was boring. And it's not the same vibe that we saw Patrick before. Patrick used to be the wild kid, the wild card. And he became boring. We see Chandrika's man pull up with a brand new Benz. It's like, I got tinted windows and like a matte satin finish on it. It was cute. It was all black. And then June had to pay for the parking. So obviously he was fumbling on how to pay it. He had about maybe $9 on the card and he wanted to finish it off with the cash, but Patrick wanted to let it be known that he only paid him $9. The producers wanted to know, why didn't you let him just eat the dollar? No, I need my whole 10. And how are you splitting and separating what you can pay for out the card and what you can pay for in cash if you got a whole Benz? Hell, don't count that man's pockets. I do that too sometimes. When I don't feel like paying the whole thing on my card, I do siphon off for what I can pay in card and pay in cash. That's what I do because I do be counting on what I want the rest of the money to be used for. If I could scrape off $10, that's fine, and use the rest cash. I do that too. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. But Anyway, Todd never met him, called him, said, "Hey, how you doing? What was up with the housewoman? We just came to support. It was nothing serious." He puts on Safari because it was my lady. I wanted her to feel cool. I wanted her to feel understanding, but it's not a problem, though. What needs to be understanding is you and Chandrika work together. So what's the problem that Safari would feel some type of way about inviting her man and her for a housewarming? Okay. And maybe it's because she hasn't been around. Has Patrick introduced Safari into anybody that he works with? Like, that's the thing. That's why she's so awkward. She doesn't know anybody. Or has she thought about not trying to get to know them because she's not in a relationship with them? She's in a relationship with Patrick. But if Patrick has a friendship with the people that he worked with, you should make yourself useful and get to know them as well. All right, so June surprises Chandra with a brand new car. She comes outside. Who is at the hostess stand? Nobody. Even Todd was like, "Who's at the hostess stand?" Somebody was there. Okay, I'm gonna let you have it because you're getting a car. But then everybody started to come outside. Brian, Torin, Dom, Rashad. Ain't nobody inside working. Just to come outside and see this car that Chandrine got from her man. Girl, it was serious, but wasn't that serious. It was a moment that did not need to be all of this, okay? And even Todd was like, "Wait a minute. I said you guys can come out and see it. Not everybody leave the restaurant, but Todd, you pretty much sat there and you sat there and let everybody do what they want to do. You let Chandrine come outside and get a car. That was for her. You let her do it. You let everybody else come outside. So everything that you're complaining what they don't do, they did it right in front of your face and you didn't do anything. Then the Oh right, so then June checks the guys about not checking their girl, not making sure she was okay. Torrin was like, "Listen, I wasn't aware of the new guest list change, and then when I saw it, I didn't even think it was gonna be that problem. I didn't think it was gonna be like that." Basically, Brian didn't even think it didn't need to be all that. It was a simple misunderstanding that could have been addressed. But Torrin didn't like being approached by June because he feels like if you got a problem, me, Chandrika, you could have told me. Don't let your man come in and check me. But like I said, Torrin, last episode, you were messy. You knew for a fact it would have been an issue. You knew it. You saw how Safari was. I don't know why you wanted her to come anyway. Brian, it's the funeral of his wig named Leslie. He was his favorite Pepe because he don't say toupee. And he's wearing all black. He got the veil. He got the shawl. He looked like a widow in mourning. Just boo-hooing and crying over this damn fried wig. Sandrika is prepared for this triple date that she's going to have with Patrick and Safari, Kandi and Todd, her and June, right? Then we're talking about how does she feel about the housewarming. Well, wait, am I there? Yeah, the housewarming. And nobody came and checked on her. I was outside for 30 minutes. Nobody came and spoke to me. Nobody came. Torn, you came outside, but you came outside with a dumb look on your face and said, "Why you not inside?" You knew she wasn't going to be able to walk in that door. You saw Safari's face. When she heard they were outside, she said, "Let them stay outside." You knew that. You didn't come in and say, "Girl, I did not know that there was a change in the guest list. I didn't think it would be that big of a deal that you was going to come." Like, you came oblivious, Torn, okay? And she was pissed, and yet she's in her feelings. She's not saying her feelings, but I don't care. I'm going to go home with my man. And it's kind of like, okay, I get you in your feelings, but if you didn't care, your man wouldn't have approached me, okay? I was out for 30 minutes. Nobody told me nothing, so I'm pressed and all that and then some. But I got to go for this double date. And Torn was like, face her emotions and all that and then some. The triple date. I got a headache, y'all. I'm trying to hurry up. The triple date comes up and Kandi wants understanding as to why these guys are in happy relationships. Why is it an issue that you guys can't be around one another? You know what I'm saying? Why was it a big deal? And she wants to get to know Safari a little bit better because Patrick is like a child to her. And I want to be understanding of the situation and that they need to be mature about this so it can be addressed. So nobody got the memo that they should get dressed up because Patrick and Safari came dressed like they were ready to impress. Chandrika and June came dressing cute, and Kandi and Ty were in their fitted sweats attire. Okay, Um, Chandrika and Shen Safari never really met before, and they meet. And Safari's talking about how this triple date was unnecessary. She's not a child. She don't need a play date. I feel what I feel, and that's that. But Safari, you were acting like a child all this time. When you told them they need to stay outside, let them stay outside. That was childish as hell. You was childish when you didn't want Torrin to decorate the home nor the apartment, but yet what did you do? You did absolutely nothing. And you have a dry demeanor about you. To me, the only person who had a problem with Chandra was Safari. I don't know why. So they decided to settle on a place where they can have fun, they can play games, and they're trying to have conversations about, what was wrong about us going to the housewarming. I don't really understand the reason why Chandrika wasn't invited. Safari talked about, oh no, I'm not there yet. Oh yeah, the housewarming. I'm at the housewarming, but this was Todd's idea to have the triple date, so we can get an understanding as to why you guys can't seem to be cool around one another. And when Safari looked at Todd and said, "This is your idea," yeah, oh okay, cool. I was like, and if it wasn't, what's your problem? Like, why you got an attitude as to whose idea was this? Because come on now, it still didn't make any sense why they wasn't invited in the first place, and the reason that you have still don't make sense to me. And I was like, why she got an attitude when this was his idea? For what? Fine. So, what was the real reason why Chandrika or me couldn't be invited? She wanted her energy to stay positive, and she did not know what their energy was on if they were to come. Chandrika was like, why would our energy be of the norm? Why would our energy be going left? They wanted to bury the hatchet because of what happened between him and Patrick last year. And why would it be an issue if you didn't know them? So basically, it's all about the respect, because June understands that Patrick and Chandrika have had dealings with one another, but they do have to respect the fact that all they do is work together. He knows she's in a relationship with me. She knows you have a girlfriend, and they are respecting the fact that what we had is what we had. It's over and done with. We're just now being respectful co-workers. That's all we are as co-workers. They're not going to do nothing wrong. They're not going to make us look stupid. So we have to trust that they will respect us, and we have to trust them that we will respect them. We got to do it. And feel energy. I don't know what energy you thought, but it's all about getting to know people. And Safari does not talk. Safari does not act like she can get to know somebody. Not really. She just stands there looking pretty with nothing else to talk. When she was at that housewarming, she just sat there with a sour look on her face. And I'm just like, girl, have conversations. This is the family you want to be in, right? I suggest you make your presence known. I suggest you start having conversations. It's all about getting to know people. I mean, you guys both have partners who work at the same restaurant every day. It shouldn't be an issue. And they both realized that this was a simple misunderstanding. It wasn't even a problem to have. And Chandrika was like, Safari's cool. She's a really cool person, but why would I need to be friends with somebody that I used to deal with, his current girlfriend? Why I need to be friends with her? Which is the truth. Why should you be friends with her? For what? It's no point. Just be respectful, be cordial, be cool. Hey girl, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? And that's it. Keep it moving. So then we're talking about how Safari's name became Safari's name. She made it up, but her real name is Miriam. And then we talk about how did Chandrika and June met. They met on Tinder. It was supposed to pretty much be, nothing serious. They met up after talking for a week. And then a month later, she got a ring. He felt like he was going through a lot and that she showed him a lot of different things that he never received from a woman. So he started taking her serious. And that's where it was. They've been together for 2 years. Then Patrick's relationship with Safari. He slid in her DMs, been trying to get at her for the last 2.5 years. She was ghosting him. She wasn't checking for him. He was persistent. But then she looked at his page and thought he was a trick. I said, a what? A trick? Look at Kandi's face. Oh. I was like, what the fuck? And Todd and Kandi was me. They was like, who the hell? What type of chick is this? Who raised you to talk like that? And what is a trick to you? A trick is somebody that you can get something out of it. You know, you can have sex with them and they give you money. Chandrika was like, if someone's paying you and you want something in return, that kind of puts you as a prostitute, but that's not what she meant though. But it's kind of like that same meaning. But it was just like based off of his page. He was a hoe. He had a lot of women on his page, so I felt like I could get something out of him. And Patrick said, the only thing women have gotten from me is some D. And I'm, okay, some D. But the way your nose is wide open for Safari, you giving up more than that, I believe. Brandon. So Brandon is at the restaurant. We got Philip and Don Juan having a conversation about where do we lie about the decision between you and Dominique. Dominique walks in. And we need to know, y'all a relationship? And she admits it. Yes, I'm in a relationship with Brandon. All right, cool. This is cute. I like this. I got no problem with that, but y'all cannot work in the same building. So somebody needs to leave this building and go to the next location. Okay? Dawn feels like since she's been at that restaurant longer, Brandon should go. Let the new guy go, and I'm not mad at her for saying that. So we need a decision. So right now, until we come up with a decision, somebody's going to leave. You guys need to have some sense of decorum so it wasn't be a conflict of interest, okay? So they're pretty much saying it's okay if y'all have a relationship. We're not saying that, but y'all need to have a relationship where y'all not in the same location. I think it will be kind of hard for that. So then Patrick goes to see Ty get his hair cut, and he is expressing to him how he's ready to settle down. And he wants to sit down with Safari. But he wants to know, since he does go to Todd for advice, he looks at him as a father figure and a mentor, how did he know that Kandi was the one? It was the way that Kandi cared for her family and that she asked him to pray with her. And he think he's found the one. So Ty was like, are you sure that Safari is the one? That's the question I want to know. Are you sure? Okay. So Kandi has to sit down with Safari, and Kandi picks a menu that don't have vegan options because she forgets that she's a vegan. Well, you don't really know much about the girl. She doesn't talk, so I feel like, I don't really think I should give her much of a choice of food options when she doesn't speak. So I'm going to go where I can find some meat, some food for me, okay? And she ate earlier because she didn't know if they were going to get vegan options. I mean, the last time she ordered something, she ordered cornbread and water, which wasn't a vegan option, but I'm gonna move on. So just want to know how things are going on between her and Patrick. Everything's going great. And she's very protective of Patrick because, Patrick's like a baby to Kandi. She's been there since he was a baby. That's my baby. I want to make sure he got his best interest at heart. So having the same conversation, vice versa. And Patrick believes that, she's different than any of the girls he's been with. But at the triple date, there were some red flags that I really didn't like. When she called you a trick, I didn't like that. Where did that come from? Yeah, trick. And that's something you really don't say about somebody. And apparently, it's about his persona that he saw on social media. He was a ladies' man, he was a player who made comments about getting all the women in Atlanta, so that's where it came off. And they're really a shit talker. They talk shit to one another. So since we don't see Safari's relationship, or we don't see her personality as much, that's how it got perceived. Since we don't know how she really is, we just based off of that one statement. But she's so blind in the face, I do believe what she says be real. What she really meaning what she says. But he says she's a cool person, and he's not mad that they have red flags about her because the only one's going to be in a relationship is him. Okay, well, it will be you on your lonesome, because if you are around her and your grandparents don't like her, your mama, your grandma, they got an issue. Okay. So then he talks about how they're a kindred spirit, like they're twin flames and shit. And Ty was like, what the hell? I'm ready to shut all this shit down. Kandi wants to know, how does Safari, feel about Patrick? Because every time I see Patrick, he's all about Safari's my world. Safari's my son. Safari's my queen. How do you feel about him? Because I don't see you gushing over him like he is over you. I do love him. I do. I don't talk about emotions like that. I get emotional when I'm talking about my emotions. He is a very important person in my life. He respects me. He's super supportive. I do love him. I just think that how they got together is what made it an issue. But I don't know. I get that you're not an emotional person, but I just feel like for Safari's case, what do she like about Patrick? What do she? Because all I've been seeing is Patrick. Oh, Safari, Safari, Safari. If Safari don't want it, I'm not gonna get it. It's all about Safari. Look at her. She's so beautiful. She's my queen. She's your queen to be. That's what I'm hearing. Just gushing all over her. Because Kandi was like, you give hardcore. And I don't even know how I feel about it. But based off of how, you've been presenting yourself, I really feel like I had to talk to you. But she says she's very emotional. She doesn't like her emotions. And how Patrick have showed her to be emotional. It led her to try things out with getting to know her family or getting closer to her family. So they're being a good influence on one another. Kandi says Safari's cool. You need someone who can, bounce things off of you and be a good influence in your life. I guess, Kandi. So Brian invites everybody over for some good times and drinks, and Torin comes over, Shauna comes over, Rashad comes over, Dom comes over, the funeral, and how they're all really good friends. The triple date, she runs off everything. How me and June got together. Safari called Patrick a trick. And now the uninvited, the disinvited came about. It was just about the energy. She didn't know what energy we were going to bring. And it's kind of like, how can you have energy about somebody that you don't even know and how to be around? But that's fine. But Rashad talks about, the housewarming was so boring. I couldn't wait to leave because it was boring. And then Chandrika made a joke and said, how you going to have a housewarming and not have a house? And then she blamed Torin for not inviting me, knowing that I didn't even need to be there. I wasn't invited. And then you let me stand outside for 30 minutes. What's up with that? So since, everything was coming out, since Rashad had to say about the house phone being boring, he did apologize to Sandrika about not going outside and comforting her. He did, go outside. No, he did not go outside. So he apologized to her for that. And then he mentioned he did tell Dom, you should go outside and check on your friends since y'all did come together. And that's when Dom got in her feelings and say, first of all, you just got here. You don't know me. Don't put my name in your mouth. Shut the fuck up. Okay? I'm just like, Dom, what's the problem? But then I don't like when Rashad going back and forth with saying he didn't say her name. He did say your name. You did tell Dom, since y'all rode together, you should go outside and check on her. You said that, so stand 10 toes down for that. But Dom is getting super heated about some shit that she did, okay? Now she's feeling away saying that, oh, Rashad, you want a motherfucking problem? I'm going to give you the problem that you've been dying to have. I've been giving it to you, okay? But, Brian, he was like, listen, baby, I love my girl Dom, but she wrong. Because if you are arriving with a friend and they can't get in, you should be like, okay, well, I'm not getting in either. We ride together, we roll together, we leave together. That's just what it is. Then when she got mad and cussed out Rashad, she said, first of all, Brian, get your little pet. I love you, but don't have him around me. Don't bring him around me. And Brian was like, listen, this is not interrupting my life. It's not affecting my business. It's not affecting nothing about me. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm not a jumping type of person, okay? So everybody just came for nothing. Just argued for nothing, came for nothing. Dom left. She about to slap somebody. Rashad left. Chandrika left. It was just a mess after all that. That was the end of that. Patrick goes over to his aunt's house to get blessing from the four most important women in his life, which was his mom, his grandma Kandi, and Aunt Mama Joyce. He pretty much wants to add another lady, which is Safari, and want their approval and their take on the ring. The ring was nice, but this wasn't the first time that Patrick has proposed to somebody. It wasn't the first time. What happened after that? Oh yeah, he proposed to a girl, but when she left, he felt like, once you leave me, I'm gonna go back to the streets. Basically, he had abandonment issues. I don't know how. It just started from there. Okay, so she left to go where? You just said that she left and then never came back. And when you found out or felt that she left and never came back, you went out to the streets. Okay. Then what else? That didn't make any sense to me. So basically, was you looking for a way to go back to the streets? Because I still don't understand why she left, right? And they want to know, do you know Safari is the one? He makes his whole body feel amazing when she's around, and just trying to get permission from her father. And, you know, I want to be sure that you are sure this time. If I don't like somebody, I'm going to let you know I don't like somebody. I hope you're ready this time. And he's 27. He's ready to settle down. He's ready to find the one. They think he's 27. It's a little young. Patrick Matai felt the same way. Then he said he went to college. Don't know what that meant. He went to college, okay. But then he had a different experience in college. He had fun. Everybody called him a hoe, basically. You was a hoe. And then everybody agreed. Bertha was like, foe for foe, you was a hoe. Okay? I'm like, yes, tell him. So he receives their blessing. He sticks with it this time. Bertha said if it don't work out for the family, she'll be kicked out of the family. Okay? But if she's good for you, if we like her, we'll welcome her in the family. And that was the end of the episode. Next episode, I think is going to be a little bit interesting. But that's it, you guys. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.